Hello my friends! Welcome to the new demonstration on how to paint fur. My very first YouTube video ever was called How to Paint Fur, and a lot of you have complained that you can't see the brush strokes too well. Well, I apologize for that. It was my first video ever, and I was very green at the time. So, I've decided to make a new one because a friend of mine has asked me to paint her dog named Pepper, and Pepper is a very fluffy dog, so I decided that she would be the perfect model for a demonstration like this. So, let's suit up, go to the other easel, and we'll get started. But, if you are not subscribed to Paint Good with Creasy yet, you need to do that right now, because then you will be notified every time I come out with a new video. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. Finally, I'd like to say thanks to all of my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate your comments and your suggestions, and I'm gonna take them all very seriously in the very near future. That's a promise. Let's jump right in. The first thing I did was make a sketch of our friend Pepper here. For the underpainting, I'm gonna use French ultramarine blue and titanium white. I like to start out with a blue underpainting. After that, I'll put in the background before I start painting the dog. I want to show you how I do this entire painting. So I put some fast motion in the beginning, like during the underpainting, and when we get to the part about painting fur, it's going to be real time. If this video was in real time, it would be ridiculously long. I like to paint slowly and take my time. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to paint fast to paint good. If you would like to learn more about underpaintings, you can watch my video called What is an Underpainting? I want a simple background, so I'm just going to do a turquoise gradient. The only thing that's going to be in this background is Pepper's shadow. For the fur, I'm going to use Van Dyke Brown, Yellow Ochre, and Light Red. And this here is Titanium White and Ivory Black. I've mixed a light brown color and a dark brown color. I'm going to start with the light and then work in the darks, and then I'm going to use straight Van Dyke Brown for the shadowing. Now I'm using my Filbert Grainer brush to make light upward strokes to start the tail. I'll put a link to the Filbert Grainer brush and all the other brushes you're going to need in the description below. In order to avoid breaking, the paint should be thinned out very well with odorless paint thinner. Notice I'm using very light brush strokes. I'm barely touching the canvas. What I'm doing is I'm pulling and lifting. Now I'm going to load the brush with my darker tan color. And apply the paint the same way over the white. Once again, this paint has also been thinned out pretty well with the paint thinner. Now, using light brush strokes, I'm going to blend the tan in with the white that's already there on the canvas. When these two colors are blended together, it makes that light tan color that Pepper's hair appears to be. Now I'm loading my brush with straight Van Dyke Brown. And I'll go in over the tan color from the bottom of the tail to create some more contrast. This paint is also thinned out very well, and I'm continuing to lightly pull and lift over the tan color. Now that you've had a real-time demonstration on how to paint fur, let's see how I apply this technique to the rest of the painting. So as you can see, I continue to add the midtones over the lights and then the darks over the midtones. And I do this throughout the entire painting. I'm using the Filbert Grainer brush for pretty much everything. I've also added a light and dark version of Indian Red to my palette. Scott Adams once said, "Creativity is allowing yourself to make mistakes. Art is knowing which ones to keep." I'm using a palette knife and a long-haired liner brush to do individual hairs after I'm done with the basic texture of the fur. Using Van Dyke brown, yellow ochre, light red, and a little bit of black and titanium white, I mixed up 6 shades of tan. And I'm going to use this for the face. Before I get to the face, I'm going to get this left foot knocked out. Because I'm right-handed, I usually paint from left to right. One thing I find challenging about painting is knowing when to stop. Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Art is never finished, only abandoned." When I paint an animal's face, I usually start with the eyes and then I work my way outwards. Now I'm using my signature brush for small details. Miles Davis once said, "Do not fear mistakes because there is no such thing." This is a real-time example of me going in with the long-haired liner brush and making individual hairs. Remember, your paint has to be very thin to achieve this. When I paint an ear like this, I start with the Indian Red in the center and then I work around it with the hair. In my photo reference, the sun is shining on the right side of her face, so I'm using more titanium white on this section. Andy Warhol said, "Everything has its beauty, but not everyone sees it." Salvador Dali once said, "Those who do not want to imitate anything produce nothing." Henry Moore said, "To be an artist is to believe in life." Now that the eyes are starting to look right, I'm going to move down to the nose and the mouth. I used to love it when Bob Ross used to say, "There are no mistakes in painting, only happy accidents." For the nose, I'm using my signature brush, and I'm just blending black and white together until it looks right. Now I'll take my light and dark versions of Indian Red and I'll start making the tongue. The tongue is dark in the center and lighter around the edges. I finish off the rest of the mouth with Van Dyke brown and black. Painting a smile always makes me feel good. Now that most of the face is done, I'll frame it up with some lighter tones around the edges, because that's where the light source is hitting. Here we go again with the long-haired liner brush. It's always fun to do this. The last thing I need to do is finish up this leg. Picasso used to say, "Art washes away the dust of everyday life." Now I'm just painting in the final details. Alright, that should do it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was inspiring and I hope you learned something. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video, which will be coming out very shortly. So, until then, happy painting, be seeing you.